delighted to feature Ash Aggarwal, a true icon in healthcare and community service. Ash has dedicated over 4 decades to the NHS and the wider community, earning recognition for his impactful leadership and unwavering devotion to excellence, is what he has. Ash, let's get Ash on here and invite him in. Where's Ash gone? Let's see. Here he is. He's joining us now. He's a founder and leader of Ashchem Chemists, a network of 15 pharmacies across the Northeast. Ash has been instrumental in delivering critical healthcare services to patients and professionals alike. His approach to leadership emphasizes integrity, teamwork, and a supportive environment, which has been central to the success and reputation of Ashchem Chemists. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Ash is celebrated for his humility and dedication to serving others, known for his kindness and respect for everyone he works with, and he embodies values that inspire colleagues and future leaders. His contributions have not only enhanced healthcare delivery, but also left a lasting legacy in the community. And Ash's recent nomination for the Lifetime Achievement Award is a testament to his remarkable journey and the high regard in which he is held. The award honours his professional achievements and his embodiment of leadership, service, and humility. This recognition highlights the profound impact one individual can have on both an industry and a community. We're thrilled to have Ash as our guest, sharing insights from his extraordinary career and the values that have guided his success. Ash, good morning. Ash, are you there? We can't see you or hear you. I've just said all of that.
After that introduction, there he is.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Ash hasn't. Turn your camera on. Turn your microphone off.
So can you see me?
Good. We can see you.
Yeah.
We can sort of hear you, but it's wonderful. Thank you for coming on.
Amar's just been telling our listeners for the last 10 minutes the biggest, well thought out introduction I've ever heard. And we're thinking, where is Ash? Has he heard all of that? I hope he did.
Yeah, I heard last couple of minutes. So thank you very much for those nice comments, Amar, and I really appreciate it. And obviously,
pleasure. So wonderful to have you on the show, Ash. I know I've done a big build up and such like, but let's kick off with who you are, what you do, and why you do it. It's always helpful to hear it from you yourself.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on the station for chat. And I want to thank you once again for the award which I received recently at ABC. Wonderful organization. I'm really proud of you as well. Obviously, I've known you since last 10, 12 years when, as you said, the awards with the ABF. And the progress you made from there to what we could have done, and I think it's a testament to this particular thing. The awards are excellent. Gives lots of young people opportunity to come and attend, and it makes them work harder. I think when there's an award or some achievement to be recognized, it gives them the extra impetus to actually go out and try harder and be involved in the community and things like that. So I think excellent. All credit to you.
As far as thank you. That's very kind. I mean, although you didn't quite answer the question, who are you? What are you doing? Why do you do it?
With mine, just to give you a little bit of background, obviously, I started in 1991 with single pharmacy, and then by 2010, I had built a chain in the Northeast, which was the biggest independent chain in the north of England, other than obviously Boots and the Lloyds and one. We did by natural progression, and I think it was using the skills which I had as a pharmacist and as a businessman to progress the matter, kind of thing. And it wasn't easy. We needed a lot of excellent support from the accountants, the solicitors, and likewise to make it work. And I think the main thing was for me is I started with nothing. And if I can give you a little story, in 1991, I went to buy my first pharmacy, and I had £2,500, and the pharmacy was £10,000 with a stock of £7,500. And the bank wouldn't let me £2,500 because they said, "Oh no, we need more money." But the guy who was selling actually lent me that money, and I started from there, and we built it up. And it was all hard work. It wasn't initially we didn't have any holidays like most Asians do. They work very hard to progress the business, and then slowly we built it up. And and I was then, once I settled down, I was involved in a lot of pharmaceutical committees, and part of the achievement was recognized when I was invited by the Queen in 1997 to the garden party, which was in recognition of service to the profession.
Brilliant.
So that was obviously an excellent thing, and we met actually the late Princess Di there as well, and Prince Charles, and because my wife was wearing a sari, I think she got pulled to the front to meet the actual royalty. So I think it was a very special occasion, and it was something which I cherished on. And from now we grew business, and I started doing a lot of joining a lot of pharmaceutical committees, and I was also the non-executive director of South Tyneside Health Authority, which served me not just as a pharmacy-based thing, but general health aspects of it, and looking after the people of South Tyneside, which was again I was on the committee I think about 5-6 years, which was truly a learning experience, looking at all aspects of healthcare and people's needs in community as such. After that, I really concentrated on the pharmacy business again, and we built up. And like I said, in 2017, I got a venture capitalist company and came and knocked on the door and basically offered me a blank check, which was, and we decided to sell the pharmacies to them, and it was, and I was really glad, because I think I was 60 when I retired, and that was 7-8 years ago, and I think I felt happy because I'd done everything, and the venture capitalist company wanted a family company because it was based all in Northeast. All our pharmacies were in geographical area of about 10 miles radius, and we had 135 staff, and everything was right for the company, and it was run very well. So they went, and I retired, and I haven't looked back since.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, well done, and thank you for that story and sharing that. It's really inspirational. And it's the points that you make around Asians being incredibly hardworking, persevering, just sort of doing whatever needs to happen to get wherever we need to get to is a great point. But tell me, Ash, what got you? The bit that you missed out was, how did you become a pharmacist? Were you a pharmacist?
Well, I used to live in Manchester when I first came to England from East Africa, and obviously I did all my schooling there. And come 1973, obviously we had to choose the career path, and I selected pharmacy, and I got offers from 4 or 5 different universities, and I got an offer from School of Pharmacy in Sunderland, and because Sunderland had won the FA Cup in 1973, I chose that particular pharmacy school.
Oh, so
I came there in 1974, and obviously from 1974 till 77, I did my B Pharm degree, and then you have to compulsory do 1 year training, which I did with Boots, and I worked for Boots for 2 or 3 years, and I spent 9 months in London and I hated every part of it, kind of thing. So I came back when this pharmacy came for sale in 1991, and really started from there, kind of thing. And like I said before, being your own boss is very, very satisfying. It's hard at first, but obviously, if you work hard and work at it, and you get the rewards at the end of it, rather than having to continue to work for obviously companies like Boots or Lloyd's, or So that was my ambition, and I think I was always driven by a friend of mine in London who we qualified at the same time, and he bought a pharmacy and he expanded to two. So he was a driving force for me. It was like a competition kind of thing, which drove us together. And we grew, but we didn't grow aggressively, because I didn't want to make the mistake of growing too fast and falling into difficulties. So our plan was always to take the process one at a time, kind of thing. Look for the right pharmacies to buy and put effort into them to build it up, and then progress to the next level. And I think that was the main thing. And even now, I see, obviously, even at the awards, I saw many young pharmacists there. And I've known them for a number of years, and I've done some talks for the organizations where they invited me to do a talk to this young and upcoming pharmacists, not just about pharmacy, but about business as well. How to buy and sell a pharmacy, how to do this. So I've done several talks to that, and it's very, very happy feeling when these young pharmacists come to and they see me as a I wouldn't, bragging myself, but like a godfather of pharmacy in Northeast. So it's and I'm happy to help them. Every time I give them my number, and I say, look, anytime you need any help with anything, just give me a shout. And and several I've guided through to them purchasing their first pharmacy and progressing from there.
Ash, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Did you have because your exit strategy, or did you have an exit strategy? Because your exit is a dream really for a lot of people in business, for the venture capitalists to come and pay for your business that you've built up for all those years. And that is the dream. So was that a plan, or did that just come out of the blue somewhere?
Well, it all started in 2010, without giving too much away, kind of thing. I did get approached by Coop Pharmacy, and they wanted to buy me at that time. And we went through the process, and 2 weeks before the deal was going to go through, it fell through because the government had changed the goalposts and how pharmacies were paid. So they backed out. And at that time, I was glad the deal dropped through, because I wasn't quite ready to sell. But this time, we weren't really planning on it. But in 2016, I was going for trying to buy a big group in the Northeast, another one, a Norcam pharmacy, which had I think 22 pharmacies, and they had a wholesale business as well in Durham. And we lost out on that deal. And I think if that had gone through, I would have expanded even more. But when that fell through, I thought it was time to pack up. But I didn't. I started planning, because obviously I spoke to my accountants and things, saying you need a natural progression. And to sell a pharmacy, or to sell any business, you've got to plan 2-3 years in advance, because of obviously the way tax works and things like that. You can't do it the last minute. So once we had approach from this particular venture capitalist, before we entered into any firm decision with them, I made sure all my legal work all the leases, all the property, everything was ship-shape. So they didn't come back and say, because they agree a price, then they start chopping away if they haven't got anything in place. So we made sure with the solicitors and the accountants that everything was in perfect shape. So they had a clean company, they had everything, I's dotted and T's crossed kind of thing, just to make sure. And our deal actually was the fastest in the Northeast. It went through, I think it was 10 weeks. For a size of that company, that deal.
Fantastic. And so since then, that's sort of
since then, obviously, I've got 3 grandchildren, and I moved to Ponteland, where one of my daughters live with the 2 children. So, enjoying life. I still do a lot of. I have, obviously, again, being Asian, you're always into property. So I have quite a large portfolio of commercial properties where keeps me busy. I look after them and passes my time. My passion is golf, so I play a lot of golf. And again, I still do an odd, I wouldn't say lecture, but like a presentation when the corporate enterprises ask me about my experiences in business and how young up-and-coming pharmacists can progress and what they need to do. So I still do a little bit of that, and obviously, motto is to enjoy life, because I worked hard all my life, and unless you, so we plan a lot of holidays, and recently we just come back from Japan. 3-week holiday kind of thing. So that's my goal at the moment. Enjoy my grandchildren, my life, and my golf.
Excellent. Well done. Well deserved. Ash, it's fantastic to see. I mean, actually, I know time passes very quickly. It was actually 16, 17 years ago when we sat round at the table and talked about, and just for the benefit of our listeners and our viewers, so there was a great, well-established organization that existed representing the Asian business professionals, is what it was primarily, when Jaff and I set up, and Ash had kindly facilitated that community cohesion. Let's have a conversation, let's see how we collaborate, let's see how we connect and work together. And I'll never forget that. It was at a point in time from our experience, Ash, when lots of people sort of question or query, or why are you doing this, and what's your motives, and yes, and even an element of competition, which is always healthy, because it drives value for the end individuals. So I'm always grateful. Both Jaff and I are grateful for your facilitation around that. And yeah, it's good. I mean, equally, it's because of people like your good self who have gone out and made a difference for the community that ABC has continued to grow and now thrive. We've been taking trade missions to India. We've done several of those, developing the relationships there, Turkey, Middle East. So we're all about internationalizing. Cosmopolitanism is what we are. But we're ever so grateful for people who have made an impact, who have built businesses and employed lots of people as well.
No, I think certainly, like you said, going back 16, 17 years ago, when obviously we had the ABF and the ABC, both organizations just starting off, really. And I think our remit was probably a little bit different to what each other. Yeah. So I think I saw that opportunity. I think I think it was ABS fault when not reaching out and saying, look, let's take that forward. I think if we had done it, you never know, because obviously different organization brought different skills. We had different sort of membership compared to what, and I still remember me organizing a meeting with one of the legal firms, and we did a presentation on tax or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't believe it, the clientele in that particular room was, I looked around and you probably could be probably £1 billion worth of people there. So we had the cloud to get the right people in. But I think the way we lacked and where I wanted to progress was we wanted to bring them in not just for a free meal and a presentation, and not put anything back into society or back in for all these sponsors who actually did that. So that's where I think the different different views on the board kind of made it very difficult for ABF to progress.
Sorry, bear with me 1 second, 1 second. Just bear with me because we can do this. Let me, because our radio show officially has come to an end, but our conversation hasn't. But let me just put Spice FM into the waiting room, and they've gone. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Ash, the conversation here was, I mean, there's been so many organizations. We've been incredibly fortunate. Even the National Asian Association disbanded and things like that. But you're right, there was a big difference. We set up as a social enterprise, a not-for-profit, formally constituted. And actually, I'm really interested in, because the whole community's now come together. Everyone, it almost feels, and Ash, you would have experienced this, originally, my late father, Jaff's late father, everyone was just one. Everyone was just part of the same community. It didn't matter, because everyone was just brown, right? To put it bluntly. Yeah. And it was more our culture that we celebrated, and the religion didn't divide us at that time. And then everyone grew, and then the community separated, and the generations changed. But now I feel as if we're all coming together. So, I'd love to pick up that conversation. If you've got, if you do 9 rounds rather than 18, and maybe get involved a little bit in, I know that's a big ask, but we're desperate for, inspiring individuals to inspire younger generations across all communities, not just Asian communities. And I'd love you to get a bit more involved. And certainly as our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, rightly so, I know you can add a lot more value to just even sharing your stories, giving some advice. Here's what to do, but equally here's what not to do. So let's pick that conversation up with your permission.
Yeah, certainly. I'm more than happy to be part of it. Like I said, I'm all there to helping any individual, any organization when they are up and coming, because I know I've been through it, how difficult it is. So any input from me or anybody else kind of thing really helps them. And all they need is a little bit of advice to make the next step. Yeah. And obviously, once they learn and they can progress and make themselves into another Ash or another Amar or whoever they want to be.
No, I'm just sit here and talk is what I do, is primarily. But anyway, wonderful. Thank you ever so much, Ash. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Wonderful story. Always, grateful for your support, your encouragement, and your community cohesion. And congratulations. And we'll catch up in person. We'll do a dedicated. There is an award winners event taking place in January, so we'll get you up, and you can share some of the stories there and inspire a lot more people. But until next week, it's goodbye from me.
Bye from me. Good to see you.
Thanks, Ash.
See you. Bye bye. Thanks very much.